Hello, my name is Gwen, and this is my sports management Q&A assignment. So let's start off with question 1. Beach and Chadwick describe 7 stages in the development of sport: foundation, emergence, development, consolidation, penetration, peak, and decline. Using that model, here's how I would evaluate these 3 Canadian leagues. First off is the Canadian Elite Basketball League, or the CEBL, which I believe is in the development stage. It's got a strong foundation with teams across the country, a summer schedule that avoids NBA overlap, and partnerships with CBC, but it's still working on building long-term fandom and consistent attendance. It's not mainstream yet, but it's definitely on the right track. Second is the Professional Women's Hockey League, or the PWHL. It launched earlier this year, which means it's still in its emergent stage. There's lots of media coverage, strong initial attendance, and investment from big names like Billie Jean King, but since it's in its first season, it hasn't had time to prove long-term viability and success. It's creating hype, but it needs time to build history. And third is the Canadian Premier League, which I would say is in its consolidation stage. It launched in 2019 and survived the pandemic. It has solid structure, growing fan bases, and a partnership with One Soccer for broadcast. However, it hasn't broken into mainstream yet, like the MLS or the NHL. It's still working to grow its market share and deepen community ties. All right, now moving on to question 2. Foster and Walsh outlined 10 key differences between the sport industry and the traditional industries, and here are 3 examples that show how sport managers are facing real challenges. Firstly, managing in the fishbowl. This means that sport managers operate under constant public scrutiny. A perfect example is in May of 2025 when the Toronto Argonauts released their starting quarterback just days before the season opener. Fans and media exploded online, speculating about locker room drama and poor leadership. Even if it was a smart move behind the scenes, the front office had to defend the decision publicly and fast. That kind of transparency pressure does not exist in most industries. Secondly, athletes as business assets. Unlike regular employees, athletes are the product. In June of 2025, the Vancouver Whitecaps faced backlash after their star player, Andreas Kubas, missed multiple games due to injury. Fans questioned his salary and sponsors started pulling back promo deals. In sport, when an athlete's performance drops, the business suffers immediately, so managing that balance between human and asset can be extremely difficult. And third, sport entertainment cocktail. Sport isn't just about competition, it's also entertainment. In June, the CEBL added a halftime concert series to boost attendance and social media engagement. Fans showed up more for the vibe than the basketball. This shift forces sport managers to think like event planners, not just team operators. Managing both game quality and fan experience is a unique challenge in sport. Moving on to question 3. It's no secret that volunteers are essential to community sport, especially at the grassroots level. If I were managing a local club or league, here's a few ways that I would make sure we're bringing in enough volunteers and keeping them. Number 1, creating a welcoming environment. From day 1, I'd make sure volunteers feel comfortable and valued. That could mean a short orientation, assigning a buddy, or just making sure someone says thank you after every shift. Number 2, offering flexible roles. Everyone's schedule is different and people are busy. I'd make it easy for people to sign up for small shifts, event-specific roles, or behind-the-scenes tasks. The more flexible we are, the more likely people will say yes. Number 3, recognize and reward. Recognition is very powerful, whether it's an appreciation barbecue, social media shoutouts, or small gift cards. It shows we value their time and effort. Feeling appreciated keeps people coming back. Number 4, building a sense of purpose. When volunteers can see the impact they're making, like helping kids stay active or keeping sports affordable, it gives meaning to their time. I'd share those stories and results with them often. Number 5, providing skill-building opportunities. And number 5, incentivizing volunteering if needed. And if we're still short on volunteers, I can consider financial incentives. That could mean a small fee discount for families who do volunteer, or slight registration increases to fund paid support staff when needed. It's not ideal, but sometimes it's necessary to keep the program running smoothly. Now for question 4. The Olympics are always political. National pride, global rivalries, and symbolic moments play a huge role. Let's take a look at how broadcasters in Canada have created partisan coverage during the 2022 Beijing and the 2024 Paris Games. Number 1, nationalistic storytelling. In 2022, the CBC focused heavily on Team Canada's resilience during the Beijing Winter Olympics. Segments highlighted athletes overcoming COVID training disruptions, emphasizing a "we don't quit" message aimed at Canadian viewers. Number 2, selective coverage. At the 2024 Paris Olympics, CBC gave extra airtime to Canadian medal hopefuls, sometimes skipping events where Canada wasn't competing. This kind of selective focus strengthens national pride but filters the global Olympic picture. Number 3, emotional framing. During Paris 2024, after Summer McIntosh won gold, CBC aired a special segment showing her childhood training videos and her family's reaction, tugging on heartstrings to connect Canadian audiences to her success. Number 4, politically safe messaging. During Beijing 2022, CBC barely addressed China's human rights issues during coverage. Instead, they focused on athletes' stories and cultural features, likely to avoid alienating viewers or sponsors. Number 5, commercial alignment. Sponsors ran ads showing Canadian athletes with patriotic slogans like "Built for this moment." This blends political messaging with consumer appeal. And finally, number 6, the use of national symbols. Frequent shots of the Canadian flag, anthem, sing-alongs, and Go Canada graphics are subtle but consistent tools to create a partisan atmosphere. And finally, question 5. The resource-based view focuses on how organizations use internal resources to gain a competitive edge. The 4 key attributes are valuable, rare, intimidable, and non-substitutable. Let's apply this to the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, which owns the Leafs, Raptors, and more. Number 1, valuable. MLSE has high-value assets like Scotiabank Arena, elite rosters, and brand partnerships. These generate consistent revenue and fan engagement. Number 2, rare. Their market dominance in Toronto is rare. No other organization owns multiple major pro teams in the same city with such influence. Number 3, intimidable. Their legacy, fan loyalty, and infrastructure are incredibly hard to copy. You can't just recreate Leafs Nation overnight. Number 4, non-substitutable. No other company provides the same combo of entertainment, culture, and sport experience in the Canadian market. HR plays a huge role in this. MLSE recruits top talent across coaching, sports science, marketing, and fan experience. Their people are a big reason why they remain innovative, profitable, and dominant in the marketplace.